We are closing out VCG's 2020 RPG actual plays with a bang today. We are playing Those Dark Places by Osprey Games. This is written by and designed by Jonathan Hicks, and he is going to actually be the GM for this session. And I will tell folks that if you are interested in picking up this game, just check out the link in the description of this video, and you can order a copy for yourself. It is available on Amazon as well, and also ask your friendly local game store to order you a copy. If you pick it up through DriveThruRPG and use the link below, it also helps support our show. So make sure to, if you are interested in anything that we're doing today, please check out the links below. Also, if you enjoy this actual play and you are a fan of dark sci-fi horror RPGs, click that like button down below, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. We're really close to hitting our record number of subscribers for the year. So without further ado, let's bring on the designer for this game, the one and only Jonathan Hicks. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this session today.
And thank you so much for inviting me on. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
I'm a big fan. This game came out in November of just last month, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's only been out for a month and a bit. So yeah, and it seems to have been received quite well. I'm really, really pleased with that.
Yeah, it's definitely a theme that I'm really excited about, and I love, and I think a lot of our viewers are really excited about as well. Do you want to just give folks a little bit of like a 2-minute sales pitch on Those Dark Places?
Sure, no problem. I term it as industrial science fiction. So if you go back to the game, to the films and TV shows of the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, where everything was very grim and very, very dark. So you're looking at films like Dark Star, Alien, Outland especially, anything quite like that, even things like Silent Running, even up to modern day movies such as Pandora, Moon, and games like Alien Isolation and Dead Space. It's got that kind of really hands-on industrial feel. And it's not a question of what's the best weapon I can use and high-powered lasers and this sort of thing. You are literally stuck out in space, which is very, very dangerous in itself, with very little resources because the companies don't care about you, dealing with things that you might not understand. And that's basically it. I kept it as a rules-light system so that the rules didn't interfere with the story. It's more of a storytelling game than anything else. Yeah, it's been 3 years in the making, and here it is.
I'm excited. We've got a great cast for you today. We've got some of my most favorite people on the planet joining us today, folks that I know that are really excited. Let's just bring them all on. Let's go right there. Look at that. Look at this crew that we've got for you, Jonathan. We've got Mr. Josh Melville from Halloweenville on YouTube. Josh, thanks for coming on. Oh, Josh, you're muted.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We've got Rob Kalajian from A Pawn's Perspective.
Yes, it is a pleasure for you to have me here.
Oh my gosh. And we've got
time will tell.
And we've got not one, but both minds behind the Effect Podcast, Dave and Matthew. Thanks for giving up your evening and coming on, because it's evening over there for you and Jonathan.
It's late pleasure. Afternoon here, but it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
And as you say, you've got the brains and the brawn of the operation here.
I wouldn't describe you as the brawn, Matthew, that's for sure.
So we've already created characters. We're all set to go. I'm just going to. This is me. I just take this show and I just throw it over your way. Jonathan, there you go. It's yours.
Oh no, I'm facing the wrong way. There we go. It's like the Brady Bunch, but weird.
It is.
Well, thanks very much to everybody for coming. I'm really, really pleased to see you all. I'm really happy you're here. I'm not so sure if later on you were happy to come, but we'll find out. But welcome to Those Dark Places. You've already created characters. We've already been through that. Very, very simple system. And between the 5 of you, it took about, 10, 15 minutes? And not only did they get the characters created, not only did you get the characters created, you also sorted out your crew positions and names. So everyone knows who they are and what they're doing on board the ship. I'll just give you a very quick rundown of the rules. It's very, very simple. You just need a single D6 and that's it. The target number is almost always 7, and you basically roll a D6. You add the relevant attributes to the roll, and also you add your crew position score, whether it's primary or secondary. And the target number is usually 7. Might be a little bit high if it's more difficult. Might be a bit lower if it's less difficult. And that's it. That's the rules. So there's only the only other thing to add is that there's 3 levels of success. There's rolling over the target number, which is success, well done. There's rolling below the target number, which is a failure, oh no. Or there's rolling dead on the target number, which is yes, but. So yes, you've succeeded, but it might not be 100%. So it might come back to bite you in the butt a little bit later on. So that whether I decide to act on that is completely up to me. So that should be interesting. And that is basically it. So has anybody got any questions before we kick off?
Yes, this is extremely difficult. Can you explain the rules again?
Okay, I shall send you a copy. I can literally tweet the rules to you. So yeah, very, very simple. It was amazing that I managed to get it all into the book, to be fair. But
do you want to just say something about pressure, Jonathan?
Oh yes, there's also a pressure roll as well. You've got your strength and education scores added together, which is your pressure bonus. And what happens is, if something happens to you, which is quite shocking that you're not expecting, not usual shocks, or if it's something you're expecting to see, it's a bit nasty, but something sort of mind-bendingly shocking, you roll a d6, you add your pressure bonus, and your target is 10. If you beat it, that's fine. You're a little bit shaken, but you're fine. But if you fail, you get given a pressure point. And that pressure point basically puts your pressure level up by 1 point. The higher that goes, the worse things could be. Because the higher it gets, the more chances you are having an episode like reacting very negatively to what you've seen. And of course, the higher it gets, the worse that episode might be. So if you start off with 1 pressure point, you're fine, you're a bit shaken. But from 2 onwards, you have to roll a d6. And if you roll less than, not equal to, the pressure, your pressure level, then yeah, things might go wrong. Now, there might be something simple, like it might affect your stats. So you might like lose a little bit of agility. Maybe your charisma might go down because you're shaking too much, or your mental faculties might be a little bit messed up. But it also goes up to something quite high, which is basically you scream into heaven and then trying to violently fight anything that gets in your way to get away from what you've seen. I haven't actually had that happen yet in a game, almost, but maybe things will change tonight.
Had that happen once when I saw Aster in the shower.
Yeah,
and I had to fight as hard as I could. Yeah.
I had to fight everybody else in the bathroom. Yeah.
I don't know if everybody knows, but I do have the mute button, and I have been.
I can unmute myself though.
I always thought Aster was power mad as well.
Just a little bit.
Right. So, if there's no more questions, shall we dive straight in?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. You are on the Deep Space Transport Vessel Victory. Basically, this vessel has been assigned to go out to different areas to troubleshoot problems at different locations. You're what's called a Deep Space service team, or Dusters for short. And basically, you're put together as a crew. You're put on a ship, which doesn't belong to you, so there's no mortgage for you to pay, but you are expected to look after it. And they basically tell you, okay, this is your ship. When we send you orders to go somewhere and do something, that's what you've got to do. It's not a bad job because you could spend months in long sleep, and your long sleep months go towards the end of your 25-year contract. So, which is actually why a lot of people do it. It's high risk, but it's also high reward. Also, the bonuses are fantastic. So at this particular point, the Victory has been assigned to go to a deep space station just as a support team for the engineers that are actually there. You come out of long sleep after about a 4-month trip. And long sleep is basically, well, you've seen it as hypersleep. You're in a tube, you've got a few sensors on you. It keeps your metabolism down, keeps you asleep. When you wake up, it takes a little while. You get a little bit groggy depending on how far you've gone. But one by one, your pods all pop open. You all wake up. Most vessels have synthetics on board just to monitor things whilst you're asleep. But your vessel isn't high priority. There's not a lot of important stuff on there. So it just runs itself automatically. So it's just you guys on the ship. Who's the navigation officer, by the way?
That's me.
Right. Fredericks, everybody sort of gets up, you're sort of potting around, getting yourselves washed, getting a little bit of life back into you, washing your, getting in the shower, drinking what passes for coffee on this vessel. And then it's the first person, of course. You've got a 5-day slowdown. Basically, these vessels take 5 days to speed up to light speed. Then you go to sleep, and then it wakes you up, and then it decelerates for 5 days. So you're at the beginning of the 5-day slowdown at the moment. As you head to the navigation console, straight away you can see you are not at your actual proper location. As soon as the map comes up, a warning sign comes up saying course altered. Just keeps flashing up at the bottom, and there's a little message icon next to it.
Okay. So, well, first of all, I'll look at the message icon, but then I want to work out where we are.
Right. By the looks of it, looking at the data that's coming up, your ship has been remotely, the course has been remotely adjusted.
Don't you just hate that?
Sorry?
Don't you just hate that?
It's awful.
It must be because you didn't enter the course properly in the first place, Fredericks.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't ask you to enter the course.
Well, I'm not the navigator, am I? So we wouldn't do that, would we?
No. Shut up now. Let me concentrate.
You're clicking on the well, you're tapping the
click
mail.
on the message. Yeah.
The message thing opens up, and it's a video message. And as it clicks up, you see the face of your assignment officer back on the station at Titan. He's looking a little bit bedraggled. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's looking at a piece of paper, and he looks up as if surprised. Oh, right, yeah. So
this is a recorded message, though, is it?
It's a recorded message.
Yeah.
It's a recorded message. Hi, guys. Look, really sorry about this. We know that we were sending you out to this space station, but something's come up. It's pretty important. So we've sent a remote course adjustment to your ship. We're sending you to asteroid mining catch 22. 222? It's 3 2s. I'm sorry. We're sending you out to asteroid mining catch 222. We've got a major situation there. There are bodies. There's been some deaths involved. Basically, we need you to get out there and find out what's going on. They've got a security officer there called Bennett, and from what we understand from the emergency broadcast they sent to us, they've been injured and they need somebody there to sort this out. So you're reading this, so you've actually reached a destination threshold. You've got a 5-day slowdown. Get in touch with the asteroid mining. The manager is Flock. His name is Flock. Give him a call. Find out what's going on. And to be honest with you, get the station running again. They've been on shutdown now for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. That's losing us millions of credits. Okay? So get out there. Get the station back up and running. Okay? Just drop a message back when you're finished, and good luck. I'll see you in 8 months. Bye. And then it flickers off.
So I'll say to Rockcliffe, finally, there's something you can do that's actually useful to the running of this ship. And I will recount that there appears to be a situation that may be a security situation, but also needs you on comms to find out a bit more detail at this asteroid station catch 222.
Do we have
meanwhile I will
a command
actually
structure on this ship? Is one of us the commander?
We're all teammates, but I'm ordering you around.
Committee? Yeah, well, you can make a suggestion. Thank you, Fredericks.
Generally, the bloke with his hands on the tiller is the captain. So,
Yeah.
by all means, I'll make a suggestion. Get on with your blooming job.
That was nearly
Just
a bit of
aware
work for
they-
Doug later on, wasn't it? No swearing, Fredericks. This is a non-swearing ship. Come on now. Right, yeah, I'll go and have a look at the comms and see if I can. I guess if we're 5 days away, we've got a bit of lag for getting any kind of response back from the station.
Yeah, it'll be probably about 20, 30 minutes maybe.
Okay, I'll ping them a message then. This is Security Officer Rockcliffe of the DSTV Victory. We are en route. We understand you are in some difficulty. Please forward all information. We will be with you as soon as possible.
Okay, you send the message out. The 5-day deceleration, basically you'll be spending this 5 days doing ship checks, just basically going around making sure the systems are all running correctly. It's it's about 140 checkpoints you need to do, and then there's probably another 140 more subsystems. So yeah, it's a really long, tedious 5 days. But you only have to do 9-hour work shifts, so it's not so bad. About 40 minutes later, Rockcliffe, the message system sort of pings, and a picture comes up of a balding man. Well, he's completely bald. He's got tufts of hair over the ears, and he's got like a cap on turned backwards. He's looking a little bit bedraggled, and his eyes are a bit sunken, looking very tired. He sort of leans at the camera. Thank you for your message, Victory. This is Flop. I'm the manager. I'm the general manager here on the station. We were opening up new tunnels for the mining, and we've had 3 deaths: Barnes, Waterstone, and Noble. It's pretty bad, and we've got a person missing, and our security officer. Well, without putting too fine a point on it, she's had one of her legs blown clean off. She's not doing well. So, yeah, if you can get here as soon as you can. We don't know what's going on. A lot of the workers don't want to work. We had to shut the mine down, and now we're under pressure from Cambridge Wallace to get us back up to production limits again. So,
Rockcliffe, can you give more information on the deaths? Like, what state of death? Were they ripped apart? Is it viral? Yeah. Is it?
We're not getting very much information here, are we? So I will respond with a please send all data logs, all information you have available as to the cause of the accident and the current status of your crew and your station.
40 minutes later, you get the ping back, and this is when you get the maps of the station. It's a basic, very, very basic, very small station. Only has a small operating crew because a lot of it is automated. And basically, what they do is they catch an asteroid and then drill down into its core where the denser materials are. They're actually mining for cerium on this particular asteroid. There's only 32 crew, 25 workforce, 3 admin, 2 medical, and 2 support. And yeah, really, really small place. Really, really small place. You can see on the image that's on the left-hand side at the top. That's the operation station. And on the right-hand side, that's the actual mine itself. Basically, they sort of fan out from the area in that kind of grid to mine as much as possible. Basically, what they're saying is, well, he comes back to you on another video. Well, I hope you got the video. I hope you get the information that you need. I've sent you a breakdown of what's happening. We've been on perfect production schedules for the past 18 months. We have a 6-month turnaround of crew and personnel. But 6 months ago, well, we had a whole bunch of new arrivals, and some weird things started to happen, equipment breakdowns, all sorts of things. We decided to open up a new dig tunnel early. I don't know if you look on your map, it's the lower new dig tunnel. To open up an entire new frame. You see it in location 12 on there. We opened up the tunnel and everything was fine. We made sure everything was working okay. And then Barnes, Waterstone, Noble, and Peters all went down there for their normal shift. Peters disappeared. Barnes, Waterstone, and Noble were found dead, and they were sliced. Oh, how can I put this? They were sliced to pieces. It looked like something it's clawed them to death, and they are very, very, very dead. When we tried to look for traces of Peters, but she couldn't be found anywhere, and there was the only blood and organs that we. Sorry, I find it difficult to talk about. I do apologise. Well, I've sent you the pictures, and I'm sorry. But I was told to send you all information. And the blood and organs that we tested for DNA was only those 3 crew members. There was no sign of Peters whatsoever.
Can I get Asta, who I think is our chief medical officer, to have a look at these images to see if we can identify anything?
Sure. It's the first roll of the game. Asta, if you want a D6, add your education score and add your medical officer score.
So that's a 6.
A 6 in total.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you're not under any pressure, so this is quite easy. Looking at the pictures, it's obvious. It looks like somebody is basically. It looks like Wolverine's had a bit of a go at them, and basically there's 4 lines of slashes across the chest, but it's done in an extremely violent way. So it wasn't a scratching you dead. It's scratch, and I'm going to keep scratching until your organs all over the walls. And then the arms are slashed, the face is slashed. One of them's completely unrecognisable. And they have literally been torn to absolute pieces. It's whatever killed them did it in a frenzy.
Do we have any reports on their systems? Have any systems failed? Have any systems been tampered with?
The only system problems that they had were actually in the mine itself, not up on the main station. So they had problems with, because the way they work down there, when they first started out, they'd go down there in full spacesuits. But now they've got an entire ventilation system set up. All you need down there now is a protective suit and a face mask. Or you could go down there in your underpants if you want. You'd be absolutely, wouldn't recommend it, but you'd be absolutely fine. Work boots are a necessity, of course. But as long as you've got a breath mask on, just because there's a lot of dust in the air, you don't want to be breathing that in. But other than that, the atmosphere is absolutely fine. They've been having problems with ventilation, and those problems after Barnes, Waterstones, and Noble's bodies were found appear to have gotten a little bit worse. The circulation in the system isn't working properly. Also, there was a power flow system about halfway down the elevator shaft. They keep having to send engineers out to replace the power system. It looks like someone's been trying to pull the piping off the power cords. The piping is shielded and really thick, so it's not easy. But yeah, they keep having to send people down to get it fixed.
So it's more physical related than actual anything wrong with the systems themselves. That's right.
Well, as far as the power cables are concerned, that's definitely physical. The ventilation, they've not actually been able to actually come up with a reason for that yet, because they've sent small bots into the ventilation, and these are big ventilators as well. You can walk around in them. They need them to be big for proper circulation and the actual mine itself. But they've sent small bots in there and not seen any problems or any issues whatsoever.
And those bots have come back as well. They haven't disappeared.
Right. Yeah.
There's any kind of reports I can take a look at, diagnostics, anything that I can comb over, I will do so.
Yeah, sure. You got an engineering, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah, so roll your d6, add your education score, and add your engineering crew position score.
Oh, that would be 6.
6. Again, you're under no pressure. You just literally just sat there, just going through reports. You can read and reread them as much as you want, so that's fine. It's a well-designed system, and it's designed in such a way it allows for expansion. So you're not putting in loads of small ducting and then having to make it bigger because you've actually expanded the size of it. This has been a lot of forethought in this. Obviously, they've got a lot of ore down there to get out. Yeah, it's basically this thing is robust. This thing has been built as a mining station. So everything about it is thick shielding, proper welding. Yeah, it's really, really well made. It's something absolutely hugely drastic would have to go wrong for the ventilation system to fail the way that it is.
These the wounds on these people are these caused by somebody wielding a couple of really sharp knives or cleavers or something?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Looking at the pictures, like I say, you've not actually got any physical access to them. Look at the pictures, it could be. But there's no tool or anything that basically looks like somebody's been slashed with a garden fork. You know what I mean? There is no tool with 4 blades on it. So
there's no kind of mining machine that would have done this to them.
No, nothing like that at all. The only mining machines that they use down there are plasma cutters, just to get through the actual rock, and then sonic cutters to actually get the ore out, and that's it.
I'm actually fascinated by the fact that we could be finding a whole new species and making notes. With my current knowledge of creatures that we've come across, is this like anything we've ever seen, possibly?
I'll get to make an education roll.
Okay.
And add, have you got science? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So make your D6 roll, add your education score and your science.
8.
8. Brilliant. A lot of the things that you've come across, or the companies have come across out there, well, officially, have basically been sort of single cell, or very, very small, or basically virtually nothing. There's nothing bigger than a hamster. So no, nobody's ever come across anything. If there is a creature out there that can do this, there's nothing on it on the records whatsoever. Not in over 300 surveyed worlds. So it's just yeah.
Judging. Oh, go ahead. One hell of a hamster. Harvey the Wonder Hamster, right? So judging by the potential claw marks, could I guesstimate how big the creature would have to be to do that damage?
Only by cross-referencing that with your actual records of earthbound creatures, most of which are in reservations or in gene banks. But you are looking at something probably the size of a lion. by the looks of it. So something with very, very big, or maybe even a polar bear, something with really, really big paws, with a wide spread on the claws.
Good choice. I like polar bears.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of gear do we have in storage that we might be able to use should we come across one of Griggs's proposed polar bears?
One of the alien bears. You have a small selection of weapons. All you've got really on board ship is everything you need to run the ship, including tools. You all have a first aid med unit each. I don't know if you want to write this down actually.
Mm-hmm.
The first aid med unit is basically just the size of a cigarette packet. It's just a really small box. It's got everything you need: sprays, coagulants, all sorts of stuff. You get an ID chip, and you can either wear that as a badge around your neck, or you can have it implanted under your skin. And that's basically like an ID/credit card. And you get a comm unit, just a small handheld sort of mobile phone device, which can do surface to orbit on general bands, but you can contact individuals as well. You do also have a small selection of weapons. You get two. This is not each. This is between all of you. Mm-hmm. I've run into this problem before. Of people walking around thinking they're Arnold. Between you have two Dazer Mark III stun pistols, and these are basically just taser launchers. Mm-hmm. Two security pistols, just automatics, or they can.
No, he froze.
However you want.
Okay.
They're 6 shooters.
You'll have to repeat everything.
And one single.
Sorry, Jonathan. Your internet's stuck for a moment there. I think you need to go back to the beginning of the equipment from the weapons. We got the Dasers and the pistols.
You got the Dasers and the pistols and a shotgun, a single shotgun.
Okay, shotgun. Yeah.
Yep. Eight shots in that shotgun. But they're for emergency use only.
Okay, well, they're going to be in the security locker, which obviously, as the security officer, I've got the key to. So we'll see about what we need to disperse to civilian, non-security personnel when the time comes to it.
Well, if we can capture one of these things alive, I'd like to study it, if at all possible.
I'd suggest that our primary mission is getting production going again, not looking after fluffy aliens.
Well, it could have. Listen,
jackass.
We're invading their territory. Okay, so you can't get mad at it. This could have been just an isolated incident. They could be soft and cuddly. We don't know yet. So let's
and there'll be a bonus for.
Let's not get trigger happy when we get down there, okay?
Well, there'll be no bonus if we don't get production going again.
Let's make a proper assessment before we go blowing these things apart. I'm just saying. I know it's been a long hypersleep.
I'm totally with that. I'm just saying production has got to be our number one priority.
Okay. I mean, I get that. We got to get up and running, but I'm just saying, don't go trigger happy, guys. We could be starting some sort of alien uprising if we just go in there and start blasting, or we could be causing all kinds of problems. A bullet ricochets off something and blows up something important, and Linus can't fix it because he's slacking on his job.
You're the one jumping to a conclusion about aliens. It's probably corporate sent up some work release Yahoo who thinks he can get something out of the deal. We just daze him in the butt. We fix the systems, and we get back to sleep and finish out our contract.
What Linus said. I
agree with Linus.
All I'm saying is let's not go in there guns a-blazing.
I think you probably all realize that I don't really like guns very much anyway, because assuming that agility is the stat that we use for gun combat, I'm not very good at shooting them. So I think you probably all know that as well.
And by guns a-blazing, we have like a total of 3 guns that are actually lethal?
Right. So conserving the ammo. I mean, if it is a alien life form, maybe it's somewhat intelligent and it just feels threatened by our presence. So maybe there's a way to communicate with it where we can save that ammo. So just bear that in mind as we get down there, guys. And as they're doing, I'm like packing my scientific bag and taking all the notes from, the claw marks and the sizes and bringing my iPad full of, creatures that we've already come across to kind of compare everything to. And just like, there's a bit of excitement in me.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes over my feelings for the people who have died, so that's the first thing from my mind. I'm just like, oh man, there could be this really cool alien that we've never seen before, or, I'm just like giddy as a schoolgirl.
I think this is the last time that I let Grid play Space Invaders on the terminals before.
Well, I think
5
also
days.
We just need to be careful that we're now 10% down on the workforce at this place as well. So clearly, we need to try and find a plan to get that capacity back up again. So double shifts and all the rest of it. The people remaining behind will have to cover that shortfall after they've wiped up the blood and scooped the bodies into a bucket and dealt with it.
I think that's the medic's job. You have to talk to Aster about that.
Right, for the next 5 days, is there anything else that anybody wants to do investigation-wise or...
I just want to make sure that we are
anything?
where they say we are. There's no... not that I distrust the company, obviously. They are the very air we breathe. But I just want to make sure that the position of Catch 222 is the one as advertised on the charts.
Yeah, no, it is. No, Catch 222. You're in exactly the right area. You're picking up their navigation beacon. You're at 542.3256.235 MKS 345 system asteroid belt. No planets in the system. The sun itself is dying anyway. All that's left is rocks, and that's why they're here. So, no, you're in exactly the right place. This is where the brief has sent you.
Cool. And stellar cartography puts a system where the encyclopedia says it is as well. Yeah, and it's a legal registered business through Cambridge Wallace as well. So this place has been up and running for 18 months. She was established 2 years ago. It's what they call a pinprick operation. Basically, they send over a station, they land it on the asteroid, sort of tether it in place, and then they literally just shove a shaft into the very center, and then just mine it hollow, and then just fly away again. So that's what it's here to do. So completely legal. It's fully registered. So no, everything's above board as far as you can tell. Excellent. They had comings and goings. Can I check the books? Just
what their
arrivals and departures. They mentioned a bit of a crew change. Subsequent to this, and then
they have a crew change every 6 months, and they have a transport ship arrive every 2 months. The transport ship arrives just basically pick up the ore. They're not actually mining huge amounts of ore. It is a rare ore. They're not mining huge amounts of it. So they basically just store it in the landing bay. But yeah, they're putting out more. Their actual quota, they're actually above quota, doing really, really well.
Okay, so the last sorry, we've just got 5 days to ask these questions, so a lot has been
but only 90 minutes left of the game.
So come on, Matt, come on.
The last cargo ship to come and collect stuff was when, and the next one is due 2 months after that. But in relation,
the last one was 6 weeks ago. The next one due is 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. So I just think it's a little bit interesting that we were sent sort of an emergency. And we're only going to arrive there like a week before this cargo ship. When was the last crew change?
That's been 4 months.
4 months ago. Okay. Could I get a list of the crew that have changed and the crew that remained from the previous rotation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want Jonathan to give us all their names, Matthew?
Yeah.
I tell you what.
I'm not going to ask Jonathan to give us all of those because there aren't that many bookshops in the world nowadays.
This has become a bit of a thing in our games between me and Matthew and our groups that whenever there's like, there's 6 NPCs over there. It's like, okay, what are their names?
No,
Like,
I'm not really interested in the names, but what I will do going through those rosters is see if there are any peculiarities. People staying on for an extra long shift or something like that. Given I've got 5 days.
To be honest with you, no. There's nothing. Nobody is allowed to extend their shift. Once their 6 months is up, then they go on rotation. Nobody's allowed to do that. So, even the company understands just how stressful these kind of jobs can be, and they're doing 12-hour shifts.
Change the crew every 6 months. So the whole personnel change every 6 months. There's no
yes, they do. Yes.
Right,
no.
Okay.
The only continuity is that the general manager will stay on for another few weeks as they do the handover, and then he'll go off on the next transport ship.
Right.
That's the only
that's
difference.
the other thing I wanted to check is transport ships can also take crew as well as cargo.
Yeah. They're fully crewed. But just imagine the Nostromo and the Leviathan turning up and basically just plugging themselves in, taking the ore,
taking an extra
shipping
passenger
off.
on board is all about mass. It all costs. I just want to make sure
It
there's
all
no nefarious
costs,
goings on. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, Fredericks, you go and sit in the corner of your bookkeeping and looking over the paperwork. Let's get there and just do this job, shall we? Let's go and help these people and get this place working.
We're taking 5 days to get there, whether I look at the paperwork or not. It just takes that long to slow down.
Actually, it's interesting. Can you make, Fredericks, can you roll a D6 and add your education score?
Okay. D6 in education and any skill scores or just those two?
No, just D6 in education.
So 6 + 3 is 9.
Brilliant. Nice. Looking at it, a lot of the people who come and work on this station are very early in their tours. So these are fresh-faced, young, energetic people. It's a mining operation. They're going to want people who are actually are good at what they do. The only person who's not young and energetic, but seems to go on lots of different tours constantly, is Peters, the woman that's gone missing. Everybody else are in the 20s, early 30s. She's in her late 40s. And she's one of the actual mine personnel.
And she came
on the last rotation
4 months ago. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a damning statement for poor Peters. We haven't met her yet, and now we're like brandishing her as not young or energetic. It's like everyone else is young and energetic. She, no,
chewed up by the equipment.
She's younger than I am, and she's yeah. Anyways, sorry. Let's move on.
Is there any other questions before you arrive at the station?
So the only thing I do on this 5 days is check over the weapons store, make sure they're all in good working order.
Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, it's checked over a lot anyway, and it's in a hermetically sealed case. So when you open it, then you should be absolutely fine. There should be. You could leave them in there for years, and they should be absolutely fine to use. They're space guns, so that'd be great. So, yeah, everything. Your ship is ticking over quite nicely. There's a few adjustments that you have to make to power flow, possibly thruster control, but other than that, all you're doing is staring at screens and making sure that all the numbers are correct and that all the lights are in the green. 5 days later, the asteroid mining catch 222 comes into view, and it is literally just a potato in space. And on the very top of it is the station, just clamped on top, literally like somebody's put it on the top and then just drilled it into place. And that's it. You see the beacon, the guidance beacon for landing. The actual landing bay itself, it's going to take about 15 minutes to dock, because they've got to depressurize the entire landing bay, which is the size of a football stadium. Then you land, and then they've got to close it and then repressurize it again. So it's a long process. I won't ask for a helm roll. Don't worry about that. So it guides you in. So that's absolutely my pleasure. They guide you in. You touch down quite smoothly. The doors close. It goes through the entire cycling system. And then all the warning lights stop swirling, and all these big green lights come on around the door. That's at least the rest of the station. And then you can disembark if you wish.
The sooner we fix this spud, the sooner we go back to sleep.
Okay. Jonathan,
in my excitement, I'm just going to blow past everybody.
Yeah.
I am just on
Yeah.
comms with that. They are all still alive in the last 5
Yes.
days.
Yeah,
There've
somebody
been no
in
changes
traffic control. actually
overall
told
to
me.
the status.
No, not at all. The air ventilation system, though, apparently has gotten worse. Almost like there's a blockage, but they can't find out where the blockage is.
I guess the first thing I will do then is run diagnostics on the system and see what I can find, any abnormalities, anything I can do to pinpoint where that might be or what is going on.
No worries. Well, you all disembark on the lift. Sort of drops you down from the underbelly of your ship, and you walk out. The gravity is slightly different here. You've been on just shy of a G. On the Spud, it's a little bit higher. So probably something to do with the gravity plates or the way that they work with the equipment that they've got. So there's a little bit of a strange disorientation feeling as you step off your elevator onto their deck. It's like you just feel a little bit heavier. It doesn't affect your stats in any way. It's just for atmosphere. So yeah, you sort of step out. It's a little bit strange. Big wide open space as well in here, which is a little bit weird. And then the door opens and out comes Manager Flock. He's a lot shorter. He obviously enjoys his desk job. He's got a flask in one hand. He looks absolutely knackered. His eyes are red rimmed. They're sunken. His skin looks a little bit jaundiced. He's been out here for a while. He just looks absolutely shattered. He sort of walks up, gives you this half-hearted salute. Gentlemen, welcome to Catch 222. Have you had a pleasant trip, I assume?
It's fantastic. Did you bring the bodies up? Can we get a look at them right away?
Yeah, sure. They're in our security control. We're in the medical suite and security control. So,
Aster, you want to come with me?
Can we have a current status as well? Are there anyone whose lives in danger at the moment?
None at the moment. Our security officer Bennett, he's making a pretty good recovery. He can't walk, of course, but he's doing okay. But none of the crew, none of the personnel, they're all refusing to go down into the mining area until the ventilation situation's fixed, and that's fine. There's health and safety issue, and we completely understand that. But we just got to get this place up and running. My bonus is down by 40% already. We need to get this sorted.
All right, buddy.
Linus here is an excellent engineer.
Systems, sleep.
That's what we need. If you're looking for any kind of systems access, you'll find that in Area 3 in admin. You'll get full systems access in there.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah. Okay.
I will, after I've I kind of give Griggs like the 1 second. Let me listen to what Flark has to say. I'll then I'll go. I'm like,
yeah.
And I'll just kind of I'll just shake my head like I can't believe this guy is so the way he is.
Yeah.
There's always one on every ship.
There is.
Exactly. You got to have that one guy.
Yeah, a little bit of bit of long sleep madness. Yeah. So you head off to security control. Fredericks and Ellis and Linus. Well, Linus, you've gone to admin, yeah?
Yep.
So Fredericks and Ellis.
Yeah, I'm going to go to security.
I've got nothing to do here now. My job is done. Got us here. No. I will, though, do landing checks on the ship and visual inspection, all that sort of stuff initially.
Yeah, okay, no problem at all. Ellis?
I think I'll probably go with Linus, actually, because we need to work out what the blockage is all about, and then whether we need to go down and try and clear it. Just so you know, I have come out with 2 dasers and the shotgun.
Yeah, okay.
And
You sure you don't want to stay here and make sure no aliens get on the ship, right?
Oh, well, I think Fredericks is doing that, and they'll eat him first anyway, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Although, do we have a backup pilot? I'm not sure we do. Actually, Fredericks, come with me.
I'll follow along shortly.
Okay, so we'll deal with it by area. So admin, Linus, you head into admin. It's basically, if you imagine mission control at Houston, it's just banks and banks of stuff, and there's all screens on the walls and projections and all sorts. There's about 3 people in here looking really, really bored because at the moment there's no work going on down in the mine. So they're basically just filling in their shift, playing mahjong and drinking coffee. That's pretty much it. So you go walking in, and what is it you're looking for?
First off, I look at the entire crew. All right, have you tried turning it off and back on again?
The one guy sort of next to the rest of his coffee It's the first thing we did, and we didn't even have to call IT to do it.
All right. Great. I love to hear that. I'm just going to run through the systems one by one. Figure out what's going on, see where these newbies are slacking.
No worries. Okay, make an engineering roll then. D6 plus your education plus your engineering crew position.
Nice. So that would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, beautiful. That's a really good score. So going over, it's a really cool system. That it's an up-to-date operating system that they're using, which is always a good thing. So you can pretty much use one terminal to look at everything. So you sit down, the CRT screens flicker into life. They've even got one of those fancy flat screens. Oh dear. So yeah, you start tapping away, sort of looking at different things. What specifically? I mean, you made a really good roll there, so you choose. What specifically are you looking for?
I am looking for any kind of intentional tampering in the environmental systems, specifically ventilation.
Looking at the access systems, the only people who have actually accessed it are the personnel of the station who are allowed to, and all they've done is run diagnostics to find out what is going on. There's also a subroutine where they release small bots. It's basically just like small, just small rolling balls which they just put into the ventilation and they just roll around and take readings. They have not come up with anything, but by the looks of it, there's a blockage in there somewhere. But what's weird is that the blockage has been detected in 3 different locations in the mine ventilation system, and each time they've sent a probe there to find out what the blockage is, there was nothing there. And then when they've rechecked the system, the blockage is gone.
I guess I'll mark down those few areas. Maybe a visual inspection will pick up something that the damn bots just can't find. Because
each one of those locations is an access point. On the map, in the top right-hand corner of each of those 3 squares is an access point to the ventilation system, and each one of the blockages was detected at those access points. And when a ball was rolled towards them, there was nothing there.
Great. I'll take whatever kind of toolkit or whatever that they have, local. That's probably either more up to date or just more than we carry, and I will check as soon as I can in those areas.
Yeah, no problem at all. Security and control, which also incorporates the medical suite. So Griggs and Asta, you go walking in. It's a very small place. The security control is basically just an office, a single small box room. There are a few lockers in here for personal effects, but then the larger area with about 6 beds in there is the medical suite. There's also a separate area for emergency surgeries, which is sealed off, and in there you see 3 body bags. On one of the beds, still with their security baseball cap on, is Bennett. He looks a little bit worse for wear. Again, he's got that kind of yellowing skin. He's been on this station under fluorescent lights for so long. He's looking really, really ill. And just below the knee, unfortunately, he has no leg. So there's like a cap that's gone over it. It's not bandaged up. It's got sort of tinfoil all wrapped around it. And then there's 3 or 4 lines coming out of it, going into a machine and feeding liquids, basically trying to keep it clean. He's looking a little bit miffed. He's got a big pile of magazines next to him, which is obviously he's already read, and about 4 empty cups of coffee, and the room stinks of stale sweat. He sort of looks up as you.
Aster, want to give Bennett the once over, and I'm going to go take a look at these wounds over here and run right over to the body bags, unzip it.
Yeah.
I take out a pair of, it looks like night vision goggles, but they're actually like a microscope, electronic extendable, adjustable glasses that can take measurements of wounds and whatever.
Sure. And
put those on and just examine those marks. And does it actually look like it was crudely shredded? Is it clean slice? Like,
this is clean. This is razor sharp. This is something that somebody would have difficulty doing with a scalpel. It is really, really sharp. It's gone through skin, muscle, bone. It's almost on a molecular level.
Okay.
It's literally just everything looks separated cleanly.
Anything inside the wounds, as I'm kind of poking and prodding around, do I find any kind of like residue left over?
No, nothing like that at all.
Okay, so it's just very clean wound. There's no kind of infestation of any kind. And I just find this remarkable and continue to take notes.
Asta, the security officer Bennett sort of watches Griggs walk past and go straight into the body room. What is it you want to do?
I would like to I'll approach Bennett and ask him how he is and what can we do to help, and can I offer to scan him to see if I can improve his condition at all? Since I'm a medical officer, I kind of feel like that's my duty first and foremost, to make sure that people are healthy.
Looking at what's been done to his wound, it looks like a doctor hasn't done it. It's very, very slapdash.
Okay.
And he sort of looks at you and as you offer, and sort of nods his head. Yes, please. That would be absolutely fantastic. We've been working off instruction manuals here because sadly Barnes was our doctor, and unfortunately now he's dead. So yeah, if whatever you can do, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to make his condition a little bit better with the.
Roll your d6, add your education score, and add your medical crew position score.
It's about waist high.
That's 5.
Right. There's not a lot more you can do. In fact, as you're sort of adjusting it, one of the tubes comes out and starts spraying this weird sort of white liquid all over the bed, and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
I'm sorry. There's just.
He's sort of batting your way. No, in there, and he sort of points at one of the top hole, which now the pipe fits into. Oh God!
Sorry.
Aster, what are you doing? Do you need assistance over there? I mean, I do have some medical knowledge. What are you doing to this poor man?
I was just trying to help his condition. Like, look, they don't have a doctor here.
They don't have a doctor on this in case something happens?
Yeah, the doctor's dead. The doctor was Barnes. He was one of the guys killed down in the pit.
Oh, which body bag is he in?
There was one just to your left.
Oh, okay. I'll check on him in a minute. Aster, do you need a hand?
I could probably use a hand. I think
a slow hand.
And I was like, do you got this, or
I got this.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the other body bag and just compare the wounds. They're both exactly identical. Nothing in there. Excellent. Okay, I just take a few more notes and go over and take a look at Bennett's wounds. Maybe ask him what he saw.
Okay, both. Are you both working on Bennett's wound? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll both work together.
Both of you roll a d6, add your education score, and add your medical officer score.
That's an 8 for me.
8.
I got a 7.
Right. Yeah, you're sort of checking it over. Aster, you notice when you have to take the cap off just to clean it and sort of redress it and put fresh pipes in. The wound looks cauterized. Looks like it is sort of pretty nasty. It could do with a bit of a better clean, to be honest with you. But whatever caused the wound actually burnt the skin and the bone around it as well. And it's clean as well. It's very, very clean. As you ask the question, sort of Bennett sort of leans back and sort of takes a cigarette out of his top, half-burnt cigarette out of his top pocket and puts it in his mouth. Sort of squeezes it and it sort of lights itself. And he sort of leans back against the pillow behind him, which is already stained brown. Well, we heard about what had happened down in the pits at the entrance to the new dig site. So I went down to check what had happened, and I found Barnes, mutilated by the door. You've seen him. He was dead. I didn't even have to walk up to him and ask him and take his pulse. The guy was dead. But the door was open to the dig site into the pit. The door is never supposed to be open without authorization. And as far as I was concerned, there was no authorization given. It's a new dig site. We don't know how dangerous it's going to be. We don't know how it's safe, or you know what I mean. Nobody's allowed in there, but the door was opening, and then inside there was oh Jesus! I'm going to I'm crazy.
No, he
Inside there was a
froze while
shape.
explaining it. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, that was tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
me
a
out.
shape in there. A weird.
Okay.
How do I put it?
How big was this shape?
It was too big for the hole. It was hunched. All I could see was vaguely it was like humanoid, and had really long. On one hand, had really really long sort of fingers. I could only see 4, and there was like a weird rasping, and I heard a scream in there. It sounded like Peter's just screaming, and then I heard a shot, and somebody fired the plasma cutter, and then the plasma cutter's only got a short range, 10, 15 meters. And it's there to work away stone, and the shot came out the hole and off went my leg. And that's the last thing I remember.
Wow.
That's what I remember being dragged up there.
Peters is the one that's missing, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Wow, we've got to get down there and investigate this hole. I wonder if we could get it. Asked her if we could get a couple, maybe the stun guns from Ellis and head down there.
Yeah, we should definitely meet up with the rest of the crew and compare notes.
Yeah. But we got to get down as fast as possible. No dillying.
Well, I guess Peters has been down there for several weeks now, hasn't he? Because if this place was struggling for 4 weeks before we even got here, I think we could assume Peters is dead.
Oh well,
No,
we don't
we
know
should
that.
not assume Peters is dead. So
How would Peter
walk into the
survive
security
in
office?
those? How would Peter survive in those tunnels, even without this thing, for 4 weeks, without food and water?
Peters may have been prepared for this, is what I'm saying. There is a blockage that has been located in 3 separate places, and nothing is there when they get through to it. We might assume, if we were a security officer, Ellis, that was a dead body. But given that it's moved twice at least, then we may also want to at least have the possibility of it being a living one.
Yeah, it's probably this creature, isn't it? That's the obvious thing that we should assume.
We don't even know that this is a creature.
Oh, this thing then. This thing that Bennett has told Asta and Griggs about. Some giant shape that Peter's obviously tried to shoot at with the plasma torch.
Yeah.
Wait, you said there was 3 blockages. Were there 3 blockages at the same time or 3 blockages at separate intervals?
According to Linus, you saw
separate times?
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as we know, it appears to be maybe one entity that's moving around. Okay, excellent. I make a few more notes on the pad while they continue to argue.
Now,
Ellis
Linus,
and Frederick, what is it you want you to do?
Well, I was going to say to Linus, have you got control of the ventilation system?
Yeah, I've got full control here.
Okay, so I'm just wondering whether there's any way that when the next blockage appears, we can shut down access to other parts of the ventilation system from whatever part that is in, whether there are doors that close in there to redirect. I'm no engineer, but is there a way that we could potentially keep that blockage in one place while we investigate?
Perfect. We can trap it alive if you can do that, if that's possible.
It or her is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There should be no issue in doing that at all.
Yeah.
Like I say, you got full access to the system.
Let's get it done.
Well, but first of all, we need to find a blockage. At the moment, there's no blockage, right?
Well,
No.
There's been signs of blockages, and every time the damn bots go down there, they don't find anything. So I have a few spots to check first. I'd like to get an actual physical visual on these places.
How long ago was it that the last blockage happened? Do they happen sort of every hour, or is this every few days?
Every 4 days, almost on time. You know what I mean? Every 4 days, the same time every day, every 4 days.
When should the next one happen if that sequence carries on? Then
probably in the next 5 or 6 hours.
Okay. So,
but it's random which one is which blockage happens. So there's three areas where it could happen, and it's random between those 3 areas.
And how long does it take to get from the control center where Linus is controlling all of this actually down there? Should we pre-position a team ready, or should we stay safe?
Looking on the map, each square is about 10 meters. If you look on the map, so it'll probably take you about a minute and a half to get to the elevator through the doors. The elevator ride itself takes 2 minutes, and then getting to any area of the blockage should take about another minute or so.
And are we confident, Linus, that blocking something in is going to be secure for 5 minutes?
I mean,
do we have a sense?
As secure as the materials available allow.
It's a thing with claws and or a plasma cutter, so it may well be able to get through whatever blockage we put in place.
Yeah, I'd say
it should delay.
Cutter will probably be able to get through, but nothing short of that should be able to, as far as I know.
I'm going to suggest that we have a team down there waiting and ready, and then we are like on site when the blockage happens.
I would love to go down there.
Yeah, let's
say hands up. Dangerous pit.
Griggs is very ready to just bolt down there.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he kind of inches his way towards the door to get going.
Stay where you are, Griggs. You go with Ellis if you go with anybody, okay?
Well, come on, Ellis.
We go together. Who else is going to come down? Because I might.
Astrid, do you want to go down?
Yeah, I'll go down just to make sure that if we find anybody that's injured, that I might be able, or if anybody gets injured, I can help them along the way.
Are you joining for manpower, Fredericks?
No, I think Lanniston here will run the operation from up here.
Somebody wants to try to get some coffee that's not the crap we drink on the ship.
Well, I don't want Fredericks killed anyway because he is our pilot after all.
Talking about coffee, Linus, roll a d6. The higher the better.
6.
A 6.
Yes.
This is on the station. It's proper coffee. I mean, proper coffee.
Speaking of that, I'm just gonna take a cup of this to go.
They've got a percolator.
Let's not tell the others about this though, because
if you sneak it on board the ship, we will smell it when you brew it, guys.
That's true. That's true.
No, I'm just going to drink it all while we're here.
So who's going where? Who's going down to into the mine? Griggs.
So Asta, Griggs, and Ellis are going down to the mine.
I'll go into wherever the access points are.
Gotcha.
Well, Linus, is there a way of have you got a visual of the whole of the ventilation shaft?
I have a digital visual. I do not have a physical.
Right,
visual.
that's fine. That's fine. Is there any with those 3 spaces? Are those 3 blockages? Were they in any one quadrant of the thing, or were they more spread out?
Well, if you look on your map, and the top, you've got the 3 squares sort of building out from the center. The blockages, the actual vents, are in the top right corner of each of those. The top right inside corner, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I should really have marked it on the map, and I do apologize for not doing that. But
okay,
but yeah, there's
right of each of those.
Yeah.
Okay, just give me a sense. Which order did they happen in?
They were random on each one.
And so we've only had 3.
Is there a sequence?
So there was no sequence. No.
So the middle one, then the inner one and then the outer one. Nothing
the
like
outer one,
an
and then
outer
the
one
outer
going
one again, and then the inner one and the middle one. Yeah, there was no specific pattern.
So it could be, Ellis, though, that's the quadrant that you want to focus on and be nearest for when we spot the next time.
That makes sense. So I'm gonna Asta and Griggs, did you want a gun for personal protection?
Just the stun for me.
Okay, I'll give them both a dazer. Have a dazer as well, and I'll carry the shotgun and a pistol.
Yep.
I wouldn't be able to get a plasma cutter in case I need to clear anything away.
Yeah, there's plenty of plasma cutters you can use. They're not supposed to be used as weapons. They're not very accurate.
I don't need that as a weapon. I need it to,
yeah.
I need it to clear anything out of the way.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, there's plenty. There's about half a dozen. There's 5 now because one's gone missing.
All right, I'll take one.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So let's get closer to the time when we expect the blockage to happen, and then we'll go down there maybe an hour ahead of that moment and be quiet and covert, hopefully listen. And do we have any kind of detection device, any sort of motion detector or infrared heat sensors we can use?
Unfortunately not, no. The station's not equipped with them, and there was never really need to. The only thing it was equipped with, what it used to be equipped with, was just sort of, well, even security cameras, they were health and safety cameras, just to make sure that certain areas were cleared. But it seems that all of these cameras have been smashed.
Is there a way I can link my comm unit to the system so I can at least get a ping if there is a blockage?
Absolutely. You've got your own sort of there's a pad that you can take, which you can unplug from the main system. You can just take that with you. Yeah.
Great.
So down in the mine, basically it's up to you how you want to go down dressed. You can go down in your normal work clothes and stick a face mask on. That's fine. You can go down in a full spacesuit. That's fine. But they also have armored, heavy-duty working spacesuits, which will restrict your movement, but they are slightly armored for sort of against things like rock falls and sudden decompression and that sort of thing. And you can go down in one of those. The spacesuits and the normal working clothes won't inhibit your movement, i.e. your agility, but the armored spacesuit will. So it's up to you what you want to go down dressed in.
Knowing what I know about the claws, I'm definitely going to take an armored spacesuit.
I just lost everybody.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
I'm back.
I'll take a regular spacesuit.
Regular spacesuits? Okay.
Regular for me as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Regulars for all of you except for Griggs, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Griggs is the smart one of the bundle.
Okay, Griggs, just mark that on your character sheet. Armored spacesuits. Whenever you take any damage, it's going to be reduced by 1.
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of those heavy-duty spacesuits. So it's like a deep-sea diving suit almost. So you have to move at the waist to walk. So you're literally just waddling along, and you've got really restricted movement in the arms. The gloves are really, really heavy. And it's got its own power source as well. So it's cumbersome. You've not worn one in a long time. It's really annoying, but it feels very, very safe.
I'm picturing much like the Christmas Story scene where like the little brother is like walking in the big snow.
Anybody have a ham on Griggs? Just so because this is something that I might need to replay often. Make the years go by faster.
You make your way down the corridor. You plug all your suits. Everybody's wearing suits, yeah. So you plug all your suits in just to top up your air. You walk down the corridor through the secondary airlock. The foreman parks, and another officer, Lattimore, sort of show you what to do, where to go. The actual lift itself is really, really big. It's like a big industrial lift, fully automated. Its own internal airlock. You all climb in. The lights dim as you drop down the shaft. You get a sense of it drops down quite quickly. It's a very deep shaft. You don't really there's nothing saying that you actually fallen. There's no counter. There's nothing going past any windows. So it just feels a bit weird. You sort of feel a little bit lighter, and it slows down. You get a slight increase of weight. Then the door slides open. You go through another 2 airlocks, and then you're into the mine itself. It's a really well-made mine. It's basically like a normal, everyday sort of coal mine. So it's rough walls with supports, but the walls have been cut almost perfect squares. And on the floor, they put loads of grating down so it's easier to walk on. And then to the right, as soon as you go in, there's loads of lockers. There's loads of work tools all lying around. You can tell that nobody's been down here for 4 weeks because the layer of yellow dust has settled without all the movement. Everything's covered in like a fine frosting of yellow dust. Your system is actually on each of your spacesuits. There's like a caution light comes on saying there's airborne particles. That's only because the ventilation system is its efficiency's been dropped right down. So as you're sort of making your way through the actual mining area, which access point did you want to go to? The inner one, the middle one, or the outer one? Or are you going to split up?
I think we should go to the outer one.
Yep.
And I think we should stick together for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's work our way.
I'm following you all, so
yeah,
I'm in the rear.
I'm all about efficiency, outside in.
Okay. So you head up. Let me see which one it's going to be. Okay. So you head up. You take the outside corridor. It's sort of walking along. There's discarded tools on the floor. Obviously, everybody got out here in a bit of a rush when things start to go a little bit south. As you even see, like a packet sandwich lying on the floor as well, which has got a weird colour. You go around to the outer one, and there it is. Basically, the actual access itself is probably about 2 foot off the floor. It's just basically a big square door covered in mesh. With an access panel next to it. It's like those miniature Apple, those Apple computers where it used to be the screen integrated with the actual keyboard. It's like one of those next to it, which sort of gives you access. And the green light's on. It's saying that it's working, but the actual screen says something different. It's only running at 45% capacity.
Well, let's get some light in there.
Do you want to open it, or are you going to leave it closed for now?
Open it right up.
Open it.
I'll open it, and I'm going to aim the shotgun in as the door opens, just to be on the safe side.
Don't blow my ass off. I'm gonna get in up to the waist and open it, get in with a light, and
it opens. It slides open. There's no lighting in there. It's just a ventilation shaft. On the floor is one of those small rolling robots, deactivated, just sat there doing nothing. But lying on the floor around it are food packets, empty food packets.
Couldn't possibly survive 4 weeks.
Well, not without food, she couldn't. No, but if somebody's feeding her, then
you should hypothesize that there may be food available. Is what I'm saying. Use your intellect.
You should stick to your bloody navigating and piloting, mate. Okay.
So this old lady comes down here, wreaks some havoc. And she must be rigging these little droids to roll around and grab her some food as she's needed because there's something down here she wants. Can I examine this little ball droid and see if there's anything below the board about it?
No, nothing at all. The actual casing is intact. It's just lying dormant at the moment, waiting for instructions. Nothing's been opened. Nothing's been forced. Even when you sort of tap into it, it sort of comes alive and it's just basically awaiting instructions. Its only purpose is to roll around the ventilation things and to check for problems and what have you. That's it. And it's just, it's absolutely fine.
This thing is useless. All right, in I go. I want to get a good look at the vent itself and what else could be blocking. Food wrappers aren't blocking it, I'm guessing.
No, these are only small. These are the size of crisp packets and that sort of thing.
I'm just checking that they're fairly recent. These aren't ones that have been lying around down in these tunnels for months.
No, some of them are quite old, but a couple of them look quite recent. In fact, I nearly said that you could smell it then, but of course you can't. You're wearing a helmet. But there's not a lot of dust lying on it, and the actual food itself is like granola bars. In between your fingers, they're still quite squidgy and fresh.
So why is Peter's living in the vents?
And who is feeding her?
And why isn't she just leaving?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going in.
Going in.
Look in the vent itself and see if there's any kind of residue or anything from any kind of blockage. If there's any kind of, it's going to be really, really disgusting if there is human waste in there because where's Peter? Peter's going to be doing her business.
Yeah. You step in. It's tall enough to stand up in. How tall is your character?
It's about 5'7".
Yeah. So yeah, you've got a few inches clearance above your head. So you don't want to do any running down here for sure. And it is basically, imagine the ventilation shafts in Die Hard. It's basically that, but bigger. Yeah. So every step you're taking, the metal is bending slightly. So because it's not designed for people to walk in after all. Well, people can. You're just not supposed to. So the sensors on the wall to check flow and all sorts, and there's half fans as well, about halfway down. But the half fan,
like any other denting, like something's been moving around in here.
Yes, there is, and you can see it on the wall on the right hand side. You see a long scratch mark. In fact, 4 long symmetrical scratch marks going along the wall to the right hand side. You come up to the first circulation fan. These are just big fans. They go really slowly. They're not fast, but this one's been smashed to pieces again. The blades have been sliced. The actual motor in the centre has been smashed to bits. This is probably what's been causing the actual the slowdown of the ventilation system.
Well, that's fun. Do I know what kind of replacement parts the station has?
It's got replacement parts for about 5 or 6 fans. In total, it's probably got about 12 fans running the ventilation system. So hopefully, it won't be any more than 5 or 6.
All right, I'm gonna back out and relay what I saw. All right, so based on what I see, Peters is probably in the ventilation shaft. She's probably got a plasma cutter. It looks like she's cut through some of the fans, probably to make it easier for her to kind of get around in the system. So I just got to replace any damaged fans here, and ventilation should be up and running with no problems.
We're going to catch Peters was there first, any otherwise she could be wrecking the fans after you.
Right, we don't want her to break anymore, so we should probably find out where she's holed up.
Did you find any anomalies or anything odd or strange in there?
Any white fur?
No, nothing weird. There's some scratches along the wall. Probably looked like maybe Peters was cutting through the blades that some residual damage to the edges of the vents or something. I mean, there's food in there. There's the busted up fans.
There's food. Okay. And you said scratches so human sized scratches, or are they bigger than human scratches? What do you mean by scratches?
I will explain to him. There's four scratches symmetrically spaced apart down the side.
From the description, it looks like the same size and width as the wounds on the bodies in the morgue.
Interesting. And you say there's fresh food packets laying around.
Yeah, like granola bars and stuff. Stuff that lasts on an asteroid for years on end without going disgusting.
Yes.
Unlike that sandwich we saw earlier.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much for those, and I'll, on a pad make digital notes of what he found and all that stuff. So I'm trying to surmise, whether this person or creature is trying to just survive, or if it's a real actual threat. And at the moment, it just seems like it's just trying to survive.
All right, I'll tell you guys what. Why don't you guys find Peter sitting in a pile of poo in the ventilation while I go get the replacement parts? This way, as soon as you find her and get her all locked up in whatever it is you security guys do, I can repair the fans and we can get back to the ship.
Wait, you said you found fecal matter?
Well, no, we haven't. You got to be pooing somewhere, right?
It's just assuming that she's pooing in the shaft.
Somewhere in her own filth in the ventilation system.
So are we now in the new tunnels? Is this the ventilation for the new tunnel?
No, this is still the old tunnels. If you look at the map, they've only just started digging the new tunnels. They've literally put a door in, started digging about 10 meters, and that's it. And then that's when things started to go wrong.
Okay. After how long should you be able to hold it without having to unload in the ventilation system?
Say again, sorry.
I said, Aster, how long would this woman be able to hold it in before having to unload into the ventilation system?
I'm just going to shake my head and walk away.
Look it up for yourself.
She's not having to hide in the ventilation system. She's obviously got freedom of the whole complex. This is why the cameras are broken. People aren't spotting her because she has sabotaged the cameras. So she can move about unseen.
I always said Frederick's smart.
So she's shitting, basically, somewhere else. I imagine.
Did it for you?
How big are these? How long are all these these ventilation shafts? So could we just sweep through them now?
Yeah, you could walk around. You could probably, was it 100, 200? It's probably about 2.5 kilometers worth of tunnels.
Okay.
They go around in the big square, around each one of the squares, and they join up sort of overhead at each of the corner points, top right corner points. So yeah, you should be. So it's only on one level as well. You're not. It's not like you're.
So
you
I
have to
think
go up and
that
down.
what we should do is, it's only a 3-kilometer walk. It's not very far. We could do that in a shift. We should search this whole place, and that will give us evidence of either any access tunnels that we're not aware of that go back to the main base at the top, or where she's taking a shit. Sorry, where she's going to the toilet. Sorry, Douglas.
That's 2 edits. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys knock yourself out with that.
And it might flush her out as well, as it were. Flush her out. Sorry.
I would definitely like to see where.
Only a matter of time.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing.
You can't get the staff, can you? That's the trouble.
No, I'm sorry, Matt. As far as puns go, that's quite acceptable.
I would definitely like to investigate the other blockages to see if there's a similar scenario where we've got claw marks, the broken fans, and more maybe food, or even if we can see tracks in the dust that's building up.
So do we agree then that we just search the whole tunnel and we find all those locations as we go?
Yeah, is that what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to go alone,
take?
frankly.
Probably take a couple of hours, depending on
In
whether
one
the fans
group?
are working. It's up to you. If you want to go in one group, or do you want to split the party?
Ellis was recommending that we don't split the party. It will take a lot longer if we all go in one group.
It will.
I mean, you're the
Still only-
security officer. I bow to your experience in this very limited regard.
That's a first, isn't it? So shut up and let me speak for a minute then. I personally feel that whilst we do not understand the nature of the threat, splitting us into groups where we may not be able to defend ourselves very well is not wise, having considered what was left of 3 people who are now dead upstairs.
I can't defend myself. Just to, like, I typey bang bang, and I know how to put a Band-Aid on somebody. But
Yeah, but that's typey bang bang. Could you not do something with the bang bang bit?
it's like a hammer, like a bang. I got a plasma cutter here, man. It's for cutting things. I should go get repair parts.
Okay,
But
but
if
I'm
you
a
want-
navigation and accountant. When it comes to typey, I don't have any bang bang.
Okay, how about this then? If Fredericks and Linus don't want to go on the sweep, why don't you guys go and get what you need to fix things? And me, Astor, and Griggs,
metrics, right?
me and
Yeah,
Astor and
yeah.
Griggs will go and do the bit that requires a bit of personal courage.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be available via comms, and I can keep an eye on things in the administrative area, and I can drink some coffee and get some fan replacement blades.
Yeah,
and
I'll
do
come with
top
you.
coffee.
That sounds like a very wise plan.
That's a great plan. Coffee.
Fredericks likes it when my plan has him
and
not
when you've
being in
mapped
the
out
way
the
of trouble.
tunnels, just give us a shout in the cafeteria. We'll come down.
You give him plenty of notice so you can finish your coffee. So, okay, so Linus and Fredericks, you head back to the elevator, whilst everybody else goes into the ventilation shaft. It's a bit cramped, like I say. It's probably the actual height of the actual tunnel itself is about 6 foot. So you have to make a little bit of allowances for the light on top of your helmet and the helmet itself, of course. So you are walking a little bit stooped, but yeah, you start to basically walking along. It's your suits get a little bit angry at this because it's a little bit warmer in here because the ventilation system again isn't working properly, and the actual particles are actually a lot thicker in here as well. Also, your suits are down to 6 hours of oxygen. So yeah, you should get all this in a couple of hours. So you've got plenty of time to do it. Linus and Fredericks, you head back, go through the airlocks, get in the lift, and start heading up. About halfway up, there's a horrible screeching noise, like metal against metal. The actual elevator itself judders and then comes to a halt. The lights go out. The only lights are your helmet lights. and then the emergency light flicks on, one red, one a very, very pale white, looks slightly broken. And then in the distance, you can hear an alarm going off. The actual elevator itself shudders once and then just stays perfectly still.
Oh. Bugger.
I hate when we come out of cold sleep. Every time. Every time. I just want to spend 25 years in cold sleep, get my money, and go on with my life.
There's another creaking noise, another sound of what sounds like metal scraping across metal.
All right, is there an access panel or something I can take down to try to get this thing rolling again, or manual, something that I can fix?
Or maybe get us off this thing before it plummets into the gravity core. I'm panicking.
Yeah.
I've seen too many movies set on Earth. We'll be fine.
You go over to the panel. Yeah, it just pops open. There's no security on it. You just basically turn the lock and swing it open. All the controls are in there. A whole bunch of wiring, small keypad, everything. You just punch in a quick query. Apparently, there's been a power interruption.
Great.
You've got that tablet, Linus. Can you get a bit more detail off it?
Yeah, see what I can get.
Where it is?
Yeah, you type in. You connect to the admin computer. It runs a very quick diagnostic, and it looks like the elevator has stopped at the point where, on the original report, where you'd read that something had been trying to hack through the piping leading up to the station, and you're actually at that point. And by the looks of it, that's where the power interruption is. The power actually goes down to that point and then stops. Oh. And that's literally just before where your elevator is.
It's the damn power, the power again in the area that needs to be able. I can climb out and get that taken care of. Yeah,
there's a lower panel. You're gonna have to go down. There's an upper panel. You'd have to go out into the shaft.
All right,
it's all pressure on.
Give me a boost. Get this taken care of. We'll be on our way. The safety locks are engaged. We're not. This elevator's not going anywhere.
Okay, step up, and I hoik him
and alley-oop.
Meanwhile, the rest of you
give me a hand, and I'll come up with you because I guess we should stay together.
Yeah, you're going to go up as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Meanwhile, the rest of you are walking along the ventilation. You've probably done about half a kilometre, and it's getting a bit tiring now. You're slightly stooped. You're carrying the weight, especially you, Greg. You're carrying, it's a power suit, but the weight is still there on your shoulders, especially with the helmet. It's an absolute pain in the arse. But you're sort of making your way along, and every now and then you'll come to another fan, which has been sort of shredded. It's easy to get through because it's knackered. Every now and then you will come up against a fan leading to other parts, which is still operational, but you can get past that.
Any residue or blood, maybe that it's injured itself or while taking these fans out?
Anywhere that looks like a toilet.
Yeah, and that's what you find around the next corner. It looks like some kind of weird... How can I put it? Like a nest. So there's rocks, and clothes, and old suits all piled up. You can see residue on there, and it looks like human waste all over it. It looks like it's been used to sort of shore it up, to plug in the gaps, like wadding on old houses. And it's just like, it's a little bit weird. But the weirdest thing is the fact that hanging nailed to the wall, that you stuck to the wall just above all that, is what looks like a skinned human face. It's got the eyebrows, it's got the lips, it looks like it's in a perpetual scream. There's blood splashed all around it and dribbling down the walls. And I will ask you all to make a pressure roll, please. So
those of us that are there, Linus and me, and are we making a pressure roll?
No, not yet.
Yes.
Yeah. So your pressure bonus plus D6, you've got to beat 10.
I got 9.
I got 11.
Okay, Griggs, you're okay. You got 5, Asta. Ouch.
Yeah, 5.
So
I'm actually finding this. It doesn't terrify me. I find it fascinating that this thing, whatever it is nesting here. Yeah. And I feel from what we found so far, again, that when it was awakened by the mining operation, it was in a defensive state. And now it is currently trying to hide. Maybe we disturbed its nest, and now it's making a new nest, and it's trying to live in its new space that we're in. And I'm just like, like going on the pad, making all these notes, and just like, wow, this is fantastic. And I get really close up to that face and kind of just examine. And so it looks like it was.
Sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
hanging around the nail as you get close, there's like rings, like finger rings. There's a bracelet, and there's also what looks like sort of workers' dog tags, and the name on it is Lieutenant Peters.
I'm saying, Griggs, this is an inappropriate reaction to finding the skinned body of another human being.
Hold on,
you
and Asta have got to have the symptoms of your panic before you say anything, haven't you?
I don't think we can fail it though on the first point.
No, the first point is a freebie. That one's on me. So your first point is a freebie. That's fine. That's just basically warning you that things might get worse. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But still, I'm like, show a bit of respect, Griggs. This is you scientist types. It's just, screw this creature. This creature is killing people. This isn't a scientific expedition. This is a
wait. We don't know.
This is an industrial place that needs to be back online, and this thing has skinned this woman.
We don't know. Was it attacked? Did it feel threatened? This could be think of it like a wild animal. Okay,
it is a wild animal. We've got to put it down.
No. It could be just that it's scared. I mean, look, it's got a nest. Maybe the miners disturbed its nest. I mean, as they're drilling through, and it's just it's terrified, and it doesn't know how to react to us, who to it seem like the aliens. We're invading its space. It could be territorial. You don't know. You can't make those assumptions.
No, you can't make those assumptions.
Die.
We don't know that this is its home place. This is an asteroid, so it might have arrived here after we did, in which case it's the invader. We just don't know.
After we did,
it might have done. How do you know it's living in our ventilation shaft? How do you know it was here first?
That's what we got to find out. That's why we're following these trails. But you can't get mad at me for being excited to discover a whole new species. If this is a new species, whether or not somebody died or not, every day people die. But
every day people don't die like that.
We don't discover things like this every day. I feel bad that Peters, went like this, but who's to say? We weren't there when all this went down. That's why we're looking at the clues. I am trying to solve this as we go along. I'm not, death is just a thing.
Can I take the body down from where it's hanging?
It's mainly just the face. Like I say, it's the skinned face. Right. But yeah, you can take it down if you want to.
Aster's with us, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my stun gun and thinking, man, I really should have something a little bit more heavy duty.
I'll turn to Aster and I'm like, Aster, is it medically possible, all right, that Peterson could still be alive even though his face is gone?
No, her face is gone. Like, Griggs, you do know how it works, right? Like people can't survive without their face.
It's skinned. What if it just took the skin off and is we? Okay, all I'm saying is
this
we
guy
don't
is
know.
Scaring me now. I think I might need to make another pressure roll listening to Griggs.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, you can all hear it over comms, so everybody make a pressure roll.
Right, okay. So we'll go in. Look, we don't know where this came from. It could well be that Peters has shed her skin and become something else. At this point, we know nothing.
Exactly. Fredericks, thank you for backing me up on this.
Linus and Fredericks are crawling through the tunnels. Like, hey, Fredericks, guess what? I bet you that Griggs gets so excited, he runs ahead, and he's the first one to step in a pile of Peter's crap. I can't wait to see the look on her face when they find her. Man, I hope they nail her against the wall.
Linus, as you both stood on top of the elevator, and as you turn around, you sort of talking to him, saying all this. As you put your hand out, you sort of point your finger like you just did. A glob of something lands on your hand and splashes up your arm.
Oh, bless you. Did you take your helmet off?
That doesn't look like snot to me, Linus.
Oh, this better not be Peter's crap.
It does look like human crap.
Oh, dude, she's got the.
Sorry,
runs.
Doug. This is a toilet-based scenario.
This is going to be a good one for the radio.
You know, it's pretty bad when even the GM gets on board with the player suggestions.
Well, if you're going down the poop route, I thought I must come along for the ride.
Go full poop.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up, shine my helmet lights up there.
You shine your helmet lights up. There are lights going up the shaft.
Okay.
And there's also access points going all up the right-hand side. And one of the access points, one of the big access points, actually one of the actual ventilator feed points, you see an image, and it's humanoid shaped. It's shadowed with the bright light behind it. It appears to have these strange growths coming out the side of the skull, and like these really strange ears which sort of come back. Its shoulders are hunched up, and on its left hand, its left arm, which is all bone, you can see these long claws coming out at the end where the fingers should be. It's just four-fingered. The legs themselves you can't see because they appear to be actually inside the ventilation access. And on the right hand, with the helmet on, you hear the whine of a plasma cutter powering up, and it sort of so slowly lifts. And that's all you can see. You can see the figure. You can't see any features. You can just see the shadow, and as it lifts the power, the plasma weapon. I'll need both you, Linus, and Fredericks, first of all, to make a pressure roll.
Oh,
Okay, so I take a D6. My
D6 and
pressure bonus is +4, right?
Yeah, I got
You need
9.
10. You got 9.
I get
So
10.
Linus, you get a 10. So Fredericks, you're okay. Linus, you get 1 point on your pressure level.
So apparently, I guess Peters has gone nuts. She's dressed up in some weird costume, but she's got a plasma cutter that is powering up right now.
And she's obviously dropping
Peters,
And
I
she's
shout,
going through like a monkey.
have we got any? We haven't got any oxygen here, have we?
In the shaft, no.
No.
Oh, no, I do apologise, actually. No, even the shaft is pressurised. So, yes, there is
Okay.
oxygen in here.
Okay, faceplate up. I'm just gambling on this. Peters, we are not your enemy.
Okay, you've got liaison.
I don't have liaison, but I do have
Charisma.
charisma of 4.
Brilliant. Roll a d6 and add your charisma score.
Yeah, I kind of feel I need to show you my camera here, but it is a 6. I've rolled about 3 6s, and they're the only dice I've rolled.
No, it's no stress. So, you sort of lift up your helmet saying, Peters. But whatever it is, doesn't stop. It lifts up the plasma cutter and unleashes a thin blue beam of power, basically like a thin line, which comes sort of screeching down towards you. Who's it going to be is the question. So roll a d6. Whoever rolls the lowest is the target.
I got a 4.
3.
Fredericks, because you shouted, the creature is shooting at you. You feel your ears pop as your air pressure changes, because this has obviously been powering up for a while, and the beam comes blasting down towards you. Now you can dodge if you want, regardless of whether the shot's going to hit you or not, but you will lose your next chance to do any kind of action. You can still shout.
I've got no actions I can do, so I'll do a dodge.
So in that case, then,
this with my agility.
Your agility. First of all, let me make the shot, see if it's going to hit.
Is there any chance he could roll off the top of the thing, then fall down the shaft?
It's actually it fits snugly in. Oh, I wish I thought that actually. No, sorry. No, it actually fits snugly into the shaft.
Worry,
there is a work lab.
My old school friend trying to kill me.
Old former friend.
So you need to make an agility roll. So you roll a d6 and add that to your agility score, and you've got to beat a 5.
This is, this is true.
Matt's
I am
a
another
notorious
6
cheat in these games. You realise, he's well known for it.
But this alien dice I'm using, I'm going to use this forever now. So that's 8 in total.
You move to one side, the shot go past you, and it goes through you. Well, goes through you. It doesn't. It goes past you. It goes through the elevator and into the wall. Now, roll a d6. You don't want to roll a 1.
2.
It cuts very dangerously close to one of the actual arrestor cables, but it doesn't cut it. Like I say, your ears pop because the actual plasma weapon, the actual sound and everything is just deafening as it comes blasting down towards you. It goes fine. The rest of you, all you can hear over the comm is Frederick shouting whatever you shouted. Peters, we're not here to hurt you. And then massive amount of static as the plasma weapon goes off. Then in the distance, you hear this weird rumbling noise.
I'm giving Aster the pistol I've got. Him having said, "I want something better than this."
Yeah,
I'll say on the comms, you know, we've got eyes on Peter. She's got a plasma cutter, and is attempting to cut us in half.
Frederick, either of you armed?
I have a plasma cutter.
You got your plasma cutter as well, yeah?
Yeah.
The shot goes flying past you, Fredericks, and then the image, the creature, literally leaps from the vent and then starts dropping down. Like it's probably about
towards us,
5-6 meters above you, and it starts dropping down towards you.
I mean, that's all we got. There's nowhere for us to go except on top of this elevator, right?
Back into the elevator.
Sorry,
I can't move.
Sorry, say that again.
There's nowhere for us to go horizontally right now. We're just still on top of the elevator.
You can go down back into the elevator, but it's only a narrow access, big enough for one spacesuit, so you'd have to go down one at a time.
All right, I will fire up the plasma cutter then.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all we got.
You sort of switch it on, it sort of powers up, you sort of lift it up. As it sort of drops down towards you, it's going to take a round for your plasma cutter to power up.
All right.
It slams down onto the ground and sort of looks up. And what you can see is the face. Well, it used to be a face. It looks like it's been skinned. And the teeth are sort of bared. There's all food or sort of bits of flesh hanging out of the teeth. The eyes are wide. Looks like the actual eyelids have been cut off. And on the left hand, it looks like the ends of the fingers have been shaved. The flesh and what has been shaved off. The bone has been whittled down into points, and then knives and nails have been jammed into the fingers to make them extra so long. It's obviously a person, and she's completely mutilated herself.
Grievance.
She opens her mouth to scream. Half the teeth have been smashed out, and all that sort of jagged angles, and the tongue's been burned. It's not a nice image, so I'm going to ask you to make another pressure roll, please.
6.
I got a 6 as well, total.
In total, yeah. Okay, so you both get another pressure point. Well, sorry. Linus, you get another pressure point.
Yep.
And now I need to roll a d6. You just need to roll 2 or more.
4.
Brilliant. So, yeah, you're in shock, but you're sort of holding it together. Because at the moment, you staying alive is more important than you going nuts. So it slams down to the top of the elevator. The elevator shakes quite heavily. And by the looks of it, she's been inserting bits of metal into herself. The ears, she's actually cut her own ears off. And she's got what look like sort of like fans from somewhere. Maybe it's the fans off the ventilation. She's jammed those into her skin. And they're all festered and covered in pus. Which maybe it's just not nice at all.
Jeez,
so she slams down. And your pistol still your pistol is still powering up, which is going to give her a chance to attack. Now you can either try and parry that attack using the plasma pistol, or you can try and dodge. It's completely up to you. To dodge is agility, to parry is strength.
I guess I'll dodge because I got no strength.
No, okay. So she's going to take a swing. And now the blades on the hand, they look like molecular surgical blades. Looks like they slice things at a molecular level. So she's coming down. She's taking the swing down, and you're going to have to roll 5 or more.
Oh God, come on. 6 plus 4, so I got 9.
Okay, she takes the swing. You definitely roll out of the way. The claws slice against the wall. Fredericks, please roll another d6. Don't roll a 1.
4.
Oh, brilliant. Again, she's slicing dangerously close to the arrestor cables, and she turns around as you power up the plasma pistol. You can pull off your shot if you want.
Yes,
you're using your agility score. She's going to try and move.
Okay.
You're using your agility score, plus your d6, of course. Do you have a security position at all?
I do not.
So it's just agility plus the d6, and you've got to roll a 7.
Let's see. No, I got a 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you spin around, you pull off the shot with a plasma cutter. The thin beam goes flying past her. Again, there's your ear. Well, Fredericks, your helmet's still up, so your ears pop again. There's a huge resonating explosion throughout the entire shaft. It slams into the wall. Fredericks, roll a d6.
Yeah. 3.
3. No, it slams into the wall again. Shower sparks. What's the rest of you doing? Asta, Ellis, and Griggs. You're still down in the shaft, and all you can hear is.
I think they found exactly what we're looking for. I think we should get there right away. And I pull out my taser.
Are we aware that the lift has got stuck? Did we pick that up?
I think
you're
told
not.
you.
Yeah, I'd say I'm sure Linus or Fredericks would have said something. Yeah.
There is no way through the tunnels that we can go up to join
There
them
is a
on
staircase. You can a staircase which goes up. It's a long climb, but like I say, it's 2 minutes by elevator, so it'll probably take you about 15 minutes taking the stairs.
Okay. Should we try and get to the bottom of the elevator then and see what we can do?
Yeah,
see if we can bring it back down.
So yeah, it's going to take a couple of minutes for you guys to get there. So yeah, you can basically just belt it down there and try and get to the elevator shaft. Meanwhile, Linus and Fredericks, she's turned around again. Excuse me. Linus, you've taken the shot. Fredericks, is there anything you want to try and do?
Yeah, is there a step ladder in this lift shaft at all?
There is a service ladder. Yeah, just behind you.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. Sorry, Linus.
Doug said we are allowed one of those.
Bell, ding! There's another one. So, okay, you spin around. You're gonna climb the ladder, yeah?
I think so. I thought about
Do you
going
already
down
have-
into the lift, but that's just a box to die in. This is my best chance of escape is up.
You already have a pressure
Hopefully,
point, don't
she
you?
takes time with Linus. Sorry?
You already have a pressure point, don't you?
I do have one pressure point, yes.
Okay, so yeah, you are a little bit shocked. So I will ask you to make an agility roll. So D6 plus agility, but it's going to be quite easy because it is a workman's ladder. Difficulty is going to be 6.
Okay, that's only 4 though. 2 plus
Okay.
2.
So you're in this bulky, suits. You sort of go over. It's designed to take spacesuits if necessary because that's health and safety. Yeah. You get to it, but you just can't seem to grab hold of the rungs. You're nervous. I would say you're sweaty, but you're in a spacesuit. But you're nervous. And your muscles just won't respond. Let's see who's going to go for Linus, Fredericks. Both of you roll a D6. Whoever rolls the lowest.
4.
3.
4. Sorry, Fredericks.
3.
As you sort of turn and run to the ladder and start to climb, she turns your attention on you, and she literally just leaps through the air and to come down on you. Looks like she's been trying to skin her legs as well. There's bits of flesh still hanging off. She's not. It's not pretty. She comes flying through the air. She, like I say, she opens her mouth. Looks like she wants to scream, but no sound comes out. She's got the plasma cutters sort of repowering again. She's coming at you with claws. Now you can try and dodge if you want to, but you are trying to climb a ladder, so it's going to be more
focusing on ladder.
Okay, so she's just going to have to roll a 6 to hit, and she does. She rolls a 7. She comes down with the claws and she slashes you right across the back. How much? Yeah, you've only got 1 in strength, haven't you?
Yeah.
So she comes around. Hold on 1 second.
Save the pilot! Save the pilot!
She's going to do 2 points of damage. So that's going to knock you down to -1. So you're unconscious.
-1.
Yeah, the blades go through your suit into your shoulder and down your shoulder blade. You feel this intense burning pain just for a second, and then you just black out, and then you collapse down to the ground. Linus, you see her slashed down. As far as you're concerned, she's just slashed into death. He comes crashing down to the ground, and then she spins around to face you.
Fredericks is down, man. Fredericks is down. Can I attempt to fire the cutter at the elevator cable and grab that ladder?
And let the elevator fall.
Yes, and try to get the ladder.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do
you're
it.
going to have to roll. Ooh. Okay, then roll. It's going to be an engineering roll because you're actually using it for a purpose, not for an attack.
Okay.
So it's actually going to be an education plus your engineering.
Nice. So that would be an 8.
Okay, you literally fire the shot. It not only goes through the arrestor cable, it also goes through the emergency brake as well. You know where you're shooting. It blasts through. The whole thing jerks, and then it drops. And that's when you make your leap for the ladder. You need to get an agility roll. So D6, plus your agility score, your target number 7.
Oh, 5.
So you leap for the ladder, but the actual elevator itself drops away. a little bit sooner than you expected it to. You sort of push away, but not enough. Your fingers just fall short of the ladder, and you start dropping the elevator. Meanwhile, everybody else, you've actually got to the elevator shaft now. You've gone through the airlocks; they were open anyway. You run to the elevator, and you see the elevator number at the top, and it was at 26, and it goes 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, and it starts counting down really fast. The elevator is on its way.
I'm holding the guys back.
Okay.
Stay back.
It's dropping down really fast. Frederick, you're unconscious, nothing you can do. Linus, you're falling with the elevator. The secondary emergency brakes come on, and it starts to slow, but you are still going to hit it with some force as it smashes into the ground. It hits with such force it blows one of the airlock door panels out. The actual locking mechanism itself also shatters. So Asta, Ellis, and Griggs, I'm going to need each one of you to make an agility roll, and the difficulty is going to be 7. As debris blasted down the corridor.
It's a 5.
5, 6, 7, 8.
6.
6. So Asta and Ellis, you'll both be taking damage. Asta, you take 4 points. Not 4 points, I do apologise. You take 1 point of damage. And Ellis, you also take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
So debris comes blasting down the corridor. Griggs, you managed to get to the floor quite fast, even in your big bulky suit. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, what did you roll? Sorry, to dodge 8.
Yeah,
Griggs,
total. Yeah.
I was about to say because the difficulty is 7, but you're at -1 because, of course, you're in the big bulky suit, aren't you? But it doesn't matter. You're still passed. So you hit the ground. The debris goes blasting over your head. Unfortunately, it slices into Astra and Ellis, injures them both. Fredericks, I'm sorry. Linus, you comes blasting down towards the Astra ground, and you land on top of the elevator. It did slow quite sharply before the end, but you are going to take 3 points of damage in total.
Yeah, I only got 1 strength, so.
Right, so you land quite heavily. Let's see what happens to the creature. She takes 3 points as well, but she's still... Anyway, it slams into the ground. The explosion comes out, and then you guys sort of... There's all dust and particles and all sorts of stuff all over the place. Now, Linus, you're at -2, okay? So you will expire in your strength score in rounds unless you get first aid attention. Fredericks, you're just unconscious. Actually, no, you're not. You're going to take damage from the hit as well.
Yeah.
Fredericks, you take another point of damage. So it's the same with you.
I'm at -2, but I also want to point out that if we're now open to the lack of air, my face mask is up. So I'm also suffocating.
It's only dust, isn't it? It's not actually vacuum or anything.
It's not vacuum, it's just dust, but yeah.
Okay, right.
To be honest with you, you've still gone below the -2, so that is going to be a factor. Your strength, Fredericks, was 1. So you need to get medical attention really quick. And Linus is the same with yourself. Guys, the actual elevator doors, like I say, they all explode outwards. There's all bits and bobs and debris flying in all directions, and then the dust starts to settle. There's a bit of light in there. It's sort of flickering. There's a few sparks all sort of coming out, but it looks like it's a scene of devastation.
Do Linus and Fredericks, do their bodies kind of like fall out into the corridor with all the debris?
Linus, no. Fredericks, a 6. Yes, you see, Fredericks' body actually comes through the hatch at the top and slips through, and he drops down onto the floor.
Because both Asta and Griggs, you can do medical aid, can't you? I can't.
We can, yeah.
We could.
I will attend to Fredericks.
Okay, you run over. It's going to be because it's at -2. It's going to be difficult.
Okay.
Griggs, do you want to run and see what you can do for Linus?
No. Griggs wants to see the creature.
Yeah, I'll go check on Linus.
Yeah,
I'm checking the dust. I'm checking the dust for the creature. See if I mean, surely it must have been killed by the 4, like our poor comrades seem to be.
Yeah.
But I'm going to look through the red rubble to find the monster's body.
Gotcha. You sort of head over. Asta, you run over to Fredericks. I'm going to need you to make a medical roll. So it's a D6 plus your education plus your medical score. Now, because he's already below the threshold, it's going to be a difficulty 8.
I actually rolled a 9, so that's
a 9. Brilliant. So yeah, you start doing the first stage. You dive over. Griggs, you get into the elevator. It's all bent out of shape. It's going to need a shitload of screen doors and a paint job. But you get into the actual elevator itself. There's all bits and wiring and all sorts of stuff hanging down. And then you see Linus's arm hanging through the hatchway up above.
I'll pull on the arm so it comes down to me. I ain't going up.
Yeah,
That's a gentle way of doing it.
He's falling down to the ground. He's in a bad way. His faceplate is smashed. His helmet is ripped. His legs are at an unnatural angle. This is going to be more difficult because he's in such a bad way. It's been a while since you got to him. So you need to roll a d6 plus your education and plus your medical, and the difficulty is going to be 9, I'm afraid.
Okay. Oh man. I'm sorry, Linus. I failed that.
Okay. Sorry, Linus. He gets to you. He pulls you down, sort of gets your helmet off, checks, but sadly, it's too late. And then that's when the huge shadow looms over the opening of the hatch, and something dark and black with a blue beam of light on its left and its right hand comes dropping down through the hatch, comes straight towards you, Griggs. I need you to make a pressure roll, please. D6 plus your pressure bonus.
Do I see this as well, Jonathan?
You all see it, yeah. In fact, thinking about it, you all better make a roll, except for you, Fredericks.
4 plus 5, that's a 9.
It's a 9. So you get 1 point.
In my status.
Yeah. So
1 point.
I got 8, so I get another. I've now got 2 pressure points.
Okay, Griggs, how many pressure points have you got?
This is my first one.
So Ellis, you need to make a d6 roll, and you don't want to roll less than 2.
Oh yeah, I rolled a 3.
You're okay, Asta?
I rolled a 3 as well.
You rolled a 3, so you're okay as well. Okay, this thing drops down. It's exactly as I described it earlier. Covered in now that you can see the light, it says a human being. She's horribly mutilated herself. She just drops down. She's got bits of metal sticking out all over the place. She's just scraping, and in fact, one bit of metal sort of catches on the edge, and it sort of rips out, and the skin off the shoulder comes flapping out. And she drops down. That sprays blood everywhere, and she's attacking Griggs. She goes flying in. Griggs, you're in that suit. You can try and dodge or parry if you want to.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to dodge or do you want to parry?
What's the difference? What's the parry?
Dodge uses your agility and parry uses your strength. So, whichever's highest, I guess.
I definitely want to dodge then.
Okay. Remember to minus 1 off your agility because you're in the big heavy suit. So, roll a d6 and add your agility.
Oh, 3, 4, 5.
She takes a swing and she rolls 6. So you put your arm up to defend. The blades, which again you can see are sort of molecular surgical blades, quite long, slash right down the arm, go straight through the suit, even the armored suit, and it really, really hurts. And she's going to do 2 points damage, but it's only going to be 1 point of damage because you're wearing an armored suit. Yeah.
Yep. And I only have 1 strength, so
you immediately pass out. I'm afraid the blades cut straight through the arm, and then that's when you pass out and fall to the floor. So that just leaves.
Just before blacking out and passing out, I say, "She's so beautiful." And then
there's a man who really needs a partner, a girlfriend or boyfriend, doesn't it?
So that just leaves Asta and Ellis. This abomination drops down. He takes 1 slash at Griggs, who just collapses after whispering something quite amorous. Collapses down to the ground, and then she spins round and sort of faces you. You can see the plasma pistol in the right hand starting to power up.
I'm blasting her with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got the shotgun. Okay, so you pump around into the shotgun. You sort of lift it up. She's not even trying to dodge. There's still loads of dust and everything in the air, so the difficulty to hit is going to be 7.
So do I get to add security to this?
You add security to that roll, yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 in total plus my dice roll. That's a miss. I rolled a 5 in total.
Okay, you go.
Told you I was no good at shooting.
It explodes on the wall next to her, and she comes leaping forward. Asta, do you want to do anything before she does anything?
Yeah. Can I shoot her with my pistol?
Yeah. Have you got a daser?
Yeah.
No,
I do.
Yeah.
I gave him my other pistol as well. So you've got a service pistol.
I've got a service pistol. Yeah.
What do you want to use? The service pistol or the taser?
Yeah, I want to do. I don't want to hit. Yeah, I definitely want to use the service pistol.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, again, you roll. Have you got a security skill?
I don't.
Oh, excuse me. So it's D6 plus your agility, and the difficulty is going to be 7.
That's an 8.
Brilliant. You bring up the service pistol. You pull off the shot. Now, weapons have a die cap. So you roll a d6, and the highest number that you can roll is 3. So roll a d6, the higher the better.
3.
3, brilliant, and that's enough. You bring up the pistol. She comes leaping forward. You pull off the shot with the shotgun. It explodes on the panel next to her. As she comes running forward, you bring up the service pistol, and with a single shot, goes clean through the head. The roaring there's a sudden silence as the head snaps back. She sort of staggers for a second, and then just collapses down on the ground, very, very dead.
I'm putting another round in her back anyway, just to be on the safe side. Don't know what's going on here.
It looks like she's been inserting metal plates under her skin with absolutely no anaesthetic. So, there's a resounding metal ringing sound. But yeah, she's dead.
Wow. Ellis, have you ever seen such a thing?
Well, this is space crazy gone space crazy, like mad, isn't it? I'm gonna nudge her with the end of the shotgun, just not still entirely sure. Try and turn her over with my shoe. You've with the service pistol, Asta, you've blown the back of her skull out. There's no way she's coming out of this. That's not a flesh wound. It's definitely a human.
It's definitely human. You can see. She's virtually naked except for the around the waist and sort of around tops of the legs. She's been shredding her own skin, putting bits of wire into it, inserting bits of metal in different areas. It's not pretty at all.
Wow.
She's definitely human.
What would cause her to do this?
Do we do you want to look at Griggs?
Yeah, I'll go over. I'll go take a look at Griggs. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's just unconscious. 0 only gets you to unconsciousness. It's only when you go into minus numbers that you start to panic. But yeah, he's badly hurt. His arm's badly hurt. He's probably got a broken bone. But he's he'll survive, as will Fredericks.
Okay.
But sadly, Linus is no longer with.
I am deceased.
Sorry, guys. Can we just have a minute for Linus?
So
anyway, what do you want to do
next? Yeah. Linus who? Sorry, I forgot. Is this?
I think I'm going to try to help Griggs up and try to. I don't know.
Yeah. It takes a couple of hours. They send down a rescue party after you radio in. You're going to have to go up via the stairs, unfortunately. But they come down in parties with stretchers, help you up, get you up, and then they also recover Linus's body, get you all back up to the main area, get you into the medical suite, sort you out who's injured, who's not. And then you sort of relay the story, and the manager's he's just shocked, he's just stunned, he just can't believe what he's listening to. And then he's like, yeah, do you know, this was her 5th tour here, and every single year she's told not to come back, and every single year she always wanted to come back. She just wanted to be here, and then she kept talking about how she wanted to make this place her home and how she'd love to live here. She wasn't should have seen this coming, but we don't have a psychologist here, so how are we supposed to see these things happening? Sounds like she just lost it. That's really bad.
I think
so. Anyway, when can we get back up and running?
Somewhat of an understatement.
When can we get back up and running? I love it.
Well, you can send the guys down there to repair the blades in the ventilation system. You can clear out the mess that she made her nest. We're not missing anybody else, are we? There's no risk there might be a second person down here with her?
No, everybody, including you guys, everybody's accounted for.
Okay. Well, I think a job well done, Asta, don't you? Well done, you and me.
Yeah, I think we did a great job.
As they're congratulating
at this point, or am I still recovering?
This is the epilogue. So yeah, you're awake. Everybody's all sat up in bed.
I would just say, Asta, that you should be, and Griggs, you should be seeing whether they've hit any sort of weird chemical that's had a reaction that tipped her over the edge in that new tunnel.
Mm.
I mean, it's not my bag, but there might be something down there that's going to turn more people crazy. Or is it some sort of pacifying gas that they've used? I don't know.
I will write up the report. Write up the report the best that I can and send it to the corporation in hopes to find a way to be able to explore this anomaly a little bit further.
No problem at all.
Even though I've nearly died, I'm still fascinated by what has caused this change in the person to shed their skin and jam things into themselves without hurting and mutate a bit.
Well, it's a bit strange because reading Peter's personnel file as you're compiling your report. She not only did she do terms before she came to do tours on this mining station, she was also part of a deep space research team, and she used to spend a lot of time going out to possible worlds for exploitation or strip mining and what have you. The last mission before she was actually assigned to this place was to one of the furthest points that exploration teams have ever gone, out towards the Spiral Arm. And they came across a small world which had an atmosphere which was lethal to human beings. And there's actual 3 days of logs, completely wiped, not only from her personal log and from her personnel file, but also apparently from the actual ship's logs as well, from what you can tell. So obviously they travelled out here somewhere and then decided that to come back, and all the information of their visit there has been wiped. Checking out the other personnel that she went with, 3 others who went with her have also gone stir crazy, and 4 of them have actually disappeared. That was the entire crew. No explanation.
Fascinating.
Right, sounds like we've got ourselves a campaign, boys.
One of the crew wasn't Griggs, was it?
No,
Not yet.
it was Linus. No, it wasn't.
Linus crawled from the wreckage with pieces of elevator coming out of his body.
Starts rising from his bed. But their entire crew, like I say, she was the last one, and 3 of them are now also, their whereabouts are unknown. And that is the end of that, gentlemen.
Cool, excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thank
you. I really appreciate you guys coming out and spending time to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. And I'm going to remind folks that if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button down below, and please check out the links in the description of this video and pick up a copy of Those Dark Places from Jonathan Hicks. I loved it. I thought it was great, and I can't. We'll have to have you on again later on, and have you back on.
No, I'll be happy to.
If folks want to know more about you and your work, Jonathan, where should they go?
You can find me on Twitter, where I seem to haunt a lot of the time, and I'm at John Mark Hicks. That's John JON MARKHICKS. I can be found on Facebook, and that's pretty much it. I'm also on Instagram under Jonathan M.Hicks. But yeah, Twitter is usually where you can hit me up. That's no problem at all.
Excellent. If folks want to know more about Josh, where should they go if they want disturbing people that are into like mutilated bodies and stuff?
They can go to Halloweenville on YouTube, Facebook, and you can find me, Joshua Melville, on Drive-Thru RPG, as I've been publishing more Korg adventures.
Nice.
Wow, cool.
Rob, if folks want to know more about Pond's Perspective, where should they go, my friend?
They should go to pawnsperspective.com. You can find everything I do, tabletop, board game, and RPG reviews there, as well as a link to my Patreon where I publish content for 5th edition, Year Zero, and Tiny D6.
Excellent. And of course, last but not least, Matthew, Dave, thank you so much for coming on. If folks want to know more about all the content that you put out, where should they go?
I'll let my spokesman do this bit.
So you should come to check out our podcast on www.effectpodcast.org. The effect is spelled with a K. Or check out our APs on www.effectap.org. You can find us on Facebook as well, and on Twitter, and you can see my published works on the Freely Workshop as well.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank.
Well done, Matthew. Well done.
Again, I want to thank
Dave's. Oh no, Dave's is there as well. Yeah,
Dave's is on there.
Yeah,
nice.
I haven't published anything on there yet. No.
Yes, you have. There's the Trade in the Third Horizon supplement.
Oh, true. Yeah.
We don't make any money out of it though, Dave.
Well, we did put it on free. So.
Yeah.
That'll be why.
Matthew and I will take our bickering somewhere else. So sorry, Doug. Please carry on.
It's all right. I definitely want, if you folks have tuned in for this long, I want to thank you so much. Please make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all the stuff that we're supposed to do. Share this actual play with folks that you might be interested in those dark places, because I really really think this is a great game that needs to be played by more and more folks, and we're really excited to see Jonathan's work published and put out there in the world. So we're very excited.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
We want to make sure it's a huge success for him. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. This has been Victory Condition Gaming, because winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time. Bye now.